Public speaking is the #1 fear in life. Second is actually speaking about death, the firefighter or police officer or doctor or anyone that has to tell somebody that they've lost a loved one. And then third is actually dying. So if the statistics are correct, and we have every reason to believe they are, you're going to spend the next few weeks doing what you would rather be dead than doing. And it is very important to me that I help you come to terms with this. First and foremost, you need to understand there's no getting rid of the fear of public speaking. And you don't want to get rid of that fear. That fear is energy, and energy is what we use to light up the room. However, if you don't control the fear, you'll be a nervous wreck. I've seen people pass out. I've seen people run out of the room crying. I even saw a young woman vomit. She caught it and then asked if she could go to the restroom, and I of course said, sure, yeah, go please. And to her credit, she returned and finished her presentation. But the bottom line is, if you don't do something to control your nerves, you'll be an out-of-control wreck. And with that, we need to figure out a way that we can control our nerves. And one thing that I found incredibly useful is internal positive refrain. That is internally doing things to motivate yourself. Years ago, when my life changed after being invited to join the speech team at Los Angeles Valley College by a wonderful woman named Betty Ballou, I started competing. And like I said at the beginning of this video, there's no getting rid of the fear of public speaking. We just have to learn to control it. That applies to me as well. The way these speech competitions work is students will do anywhere from 1 to sometimes 7 different speeches. All these speeches will be 10 minutes apiece, and they'll be completely memorized. You'll be competing from 8 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 9 o'clock at night. And depending on the competition and how successful and competitive you are, it could be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or even 5 days of this, speaking all day, every day. That's what makes it competitive. It's not just a test of intellect, it's a test of endurance. Add to this, you have all of the stresses of life. You've got relationships, you've got school, you've got work, you've got late nights, but still when that judge calls your name, you have to walk up to the front of the room and light it up. It's incredibly draining. I would come home from these speech competitions and I would always complain to my mother about how tired I was and how difficult it was to light up the room at 8 o'clock in the morning and then, sometimes 12 hours later do it again. My mom would always give me a bag of chocolate Hershey's Kisses. And she would tell me, when you get tired, pop in a chocolate Hershey's Kiss. The caffeine and the chocolate, that'll give you a little burst of energy so you can do your thing. Well, I never listened to my mom, so I never really indulged in the chocolate Hershey's Kisses until one tournament. It was the state championship tournament, Cal State Sacramento. It was 9 o'clock at night. I had made it to a final round of informative speaking, and there was a young woman speaking, and I was to follow her. It was 9 o'clock at night, and as this woman is speaking, I cannot even stay awake. I'm so tired. And finally I decided desperately I was going to try one of those Hershey's Kisses, listen to my mom and hopefully wake up. So I was chewing on a chocolate Hershey's Kiss, and I started thinking about my mom. My mom's always been my biggest fan. You're the fastest, you're the strongest, you're the funniest, you're the most handsomest, My mother's lied to me my entire life. Anyways, I'm sitting there thinking about all these wonderful attributes my mom was relating to me, and all of a sudden the judge called my name. I walked up to the front of the room and I thought, wow, I'm not nervous. I did my speech and it went incredibly well. That night, back at the hotel, laying in bed, I couldn't sleep. I'm just thinking, why was I not nervous when I was doing my speech? I'm usually so nervous. And all I could come up with was that my mom had blessed me with all of these positive statements, and I was just thinking about those things. So with that said, for the next 2 years, as a competitive speaker, anytime I got nervous, I thought about something positive someone had said to me. Now, you need to know I'm a meat and potatoes person. I'm not hocus pocus. If you had told me, oh, think happy thoughts and you'll feel good about yourself and you won't be nervous, I think that was a bunch of hogwash. But basically, that's what I was doing. And I would continue to do so for my speech career, and I never shared it with anybody because I did think it was kind of silly. That is until I was preparing to train the commanding staff of the LAPD. Years ago, I was given the privilege of training the commanding staff of the LAPD in a public speaking workshop. And I was researching what I was going to share with these officers, and I came across an article entitled Internal Positive Refrain. It was basically 3 pages of psychological gobbledygook that said, come up with a positive statement that you repeat to yourself, not only to control the butterflies, but much more importantly, so you look confident. Confidence is what seals the deal. Confidence is what makes the sale. Confidence is what persuades the action. Confidence is what leads the room. Not only do we want to control those butterflies so we don't feel nervous, but more importantly, we want to look confident. With that said, I want to encourage you to do things to emotionally and mentally help yourself be confident in front of that room. With that, I look forward to getting to know you in class and I'm interested in and looking forward into what you have to say about the fear of public speaking. And again, forgive the sunglasses and any breathiness. I'm very much under the weather right now, but regardless, we got to do what we got to do. And I look forward to hearing from you.